I'm Dru Stevenson, and this is a preview or introductory video for my Law and Economics seminar that I teach at South Texas College of Law in Houston. I thought that students who are considering enrolling in the course might like to know what the course is all about. And even those who already know they want to take the course and are planning to enroll might like to know a little bit beforehand about what to expect. Now, in a nutshell, we take insights and concepts from the field of economics and apply those to problems in the law, especially things that relate to incentives and disincentives, collective action problems, like when you need to get a whole lot of people to cooperate with something that they don't really want to do, and things like information costs. Now, this is the official description from our course catalog. It's a little bit stilted. This course will explore the opportunities and limits of economic analysis of legal issues in areas of law, including, but not limited to, contracts, torts, property, public policy, securities, attorney's fees, welfare, and zoning. Basic economics and its application to law will be covered. This course is for non-economists. I put that in bold. It's 2 credit hours and fulfills the substantial writing requirement for graduation. Now, your takeaway from this is that we're going to take some economics concepts and apply them to a wide range of legal problems. There's a wide range of topics for your paper that you could pick. And very importantly, you don't have to have ever taken an economics course like in college in order to succeed here. I'm going to give you the basics that you need for writing your paper and researching your paper. So even if you have no background in economics, you can succeed and get a good grade in the course. We don't assume that you have taken economics as an undergrad. For those who have taken economics in undergrad, this course is focused more on what's called microeconomics and not macroeconomics. So we're not really going to be talking much about inflation or the stock market or GDP or monetary policy. Instead, we're more likely to focus on how the law incentivizes or disincentivizes certain activities. To give a simple, kind of obvious example, the fear of going to jail may deter some people from committing crimes. Well, that's not so complicated, but sometimes this is complicated and very subtle, like the incentives that the lawyers on each side in litigation may have, or the incentives that a lawyer may have when drafting a contract for a client, and picking certain terms in anticipation of possible future litigation. Now, some concepts that we're going to talk about you may have already encountered in law school, like the hand formula in torts, B and LP, or the Coase theorem in property class. Don't worry if you don't remember everything about that, or if your professor didn't spend any time on it at all. We'll explain it, and we're going to take it a little further and unpack some of the implications of those economics ideas that a lot of students encounter even in their first year courses. Sometimes in this course, we're going to take some time to talk about unintended consequences of the law. So, for example, sometimes a statute prohibits a harmful activity, but people then switch to something that's even worse. So the laws can sometimes backfire and do more harm than good. Not always, but in some cases. And economics can help us understand when and why that happens. Sometimes the law may over-deter useful activity, so it's a little too much of a good thing. So, for example, if we make the liability for driving a car so high, people might just stop driving cars. Or if having employees in your company or your firm creates too much liability, whether in tort or regulatory law and so forth, people then may have stop hiring employees or have a disincentive to do that, and that's not what we want. So sometimes laws need to be calibrated so that they deter the harmful activities, but don't overreach so that people are avoiding things that we actually want people to keep doing. Now, let's talk about some of the nuts and bolts of this course. It is a seminar course, which means there's a paper. Your grade is based primarily on a paper, not an exam. And the presumption is that you're taking this to fulfill the substantial writing requirement for graduation. The student handbook, by the way, says that that means you have to get a C or better in the course, and that your paper has to be at least 5,000 words, not including the footnotes. Now, I got to tell you, to get a good grade in my class, you're going to be writing a lot more than that. But that is what you have to do in order to have this course satisfy the substantial writing requirement for graduation. In terms of kind of big picture tasks, as you might expect, early in the semester, in the first few weeks, you're going to select a topic, and my syllabus provides some guidance and parameters and suggestions for that. Unsurprisingly, in the middle of the semester, your rough draft is going to be due, and then you're going to have a final paper that's due on the last day of classes. You're not going to be writing a paper during finals when you're studying for your final exams in other classes. You're going to finish up my course before finals start. Instead of assigning a book or books and articles for you to read as background reading, in addition to your research for your paper, I'm going to assign videos for you to watch made by economists or law professors or me, explaining some of the things that I think you need to know about law and about economics. You will be doing plenty of reading when you do the research for your paper. Now, there will be some short writing assignments, just a page or two, probably early in the semester, on specific questions related to your chosen paper topic. So, for example, I mentioned the hand formula and the Coase theorem. Once I've explained what those are and how they work, I might ask you to write a page about how one of those concepts applies to your paper topic. There will be a peer review component to this course, so you will write a short review or critique, only 1 or 2 pages, giving another student in the class feedback on their rough draft. This is assigned. You have to do it, and it will count against your grade if you don't. And this is going to be in the middle of the semester. All of the rough drafts are made available for all the students in the course to read, so that they can get an idea of what other people are doing. And another student is going to read your rough draft and give you a page or two of feedback on it as well. This may be something you haven't had to do in a course before, but if you're going to practice law and work for a firm or an agency or a DA's office or something like that, you will frequently be asked to read your colleagues' drafts and of their briefs and their memos and so forth to give them feedback. So this is actually a useful skill. I think that's about enough to give you an idea of what the course is about and what to expect in terms of how the paper works and the workload. I'm going to make some other short lecture videos that cover the actual concepts from the course.